Where's my phone?
Hey y'all. Happy Tuesday. It's March 1st. And we
Yes.
are live and in living color, honey, on
Yes. Yes.
Facebook. We tried to go live on YouTube and having some technical issues, but we're gonna get it together.
Next time, next live, we'll have it together.
Yeah. So I can't find the link, or if you can share it with me. I don't see it on. Let me see if I can
For
find it.
Facebook. Give me one
Yeah.
second because I
Can't
did
find the
my
link.
phone right there on
Oh, I
screen.
see it. I got it right here.
Okay, you go ahead and share it, and I'm about to go. I have to grab my phone because I left it right behind
Okay.
me. Give me one second because I did my phone right there on screen.
Hey everybody. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. We haven't gone live on here in so long. So we're on live tonight because we want to, just talk about some stuff and just tell y'all some new stuff that we're doing. But super excited to be on here. Super excited to just, get back live and do this and enjoy, the camaraderie with our followers. As you can see, the name is different. We're Unlikely Sisters now. This is the podcast that we have started, something new,
Mhm.
just to build a community of women that, we can just talk with. And but tonight, talk about different topics, hot topics, talk about things that are fun, talk about things that, just, and happening in our lives. We're going to mention, we're going to start off with something probably maybe a little serious, but not really. But just talking about some of our non negotiables for our own lives. You know what I'm saying? So, what are some non negotiables for you as a woman in your life? It's like, you know what? I have some non negotiables. What are those non negotiables, right? So, we want to just share some of those things with you all. And
I found everything. Sorry.
yeah, I can. So we tried to post you guys on YouTube, and they're, since we started a new channel, they giving us the blues, honey. So
Mm-hmm.
we are just going to go live on here. I know when we first started, we went live on here, and so it was just, something we wanted to try out and just reintroduce ourselves in 2022. If you all don't know, my name is Miranda, and I am uh, the creator of Bougie Girl. If you've never heard of me before, it's called Bougie Girl. Bougie standing for bold, one of a kind, unbothered, God's girl, intentional, and elegant. And so that's something that Elena and I did together a couple of years ago for several years, I believe. And, we just had a great time doing that together, so still doing that, but also, I'm a counselor, I'm a mother, I'm just a woman who desires to be her best self, getting ready to enter a monumental year for myself. So I'm excited about life, excited about what's getting ready to happen for me, excited about doing some new things, just excited about life in general. And then working with you again, Elena, just super excited to be doing this together. I always enjoyed, talking to different people and interviewing people. And, when we were doing Bougie Girls, it was super fun. So,
Yes.
and now we're doing something different. Now we're doing something a little, it's kind of on the same vein, but just,
A little different, a little more real raw.
yeah, it's not so we're gonna be talking about some real life topics. We're gonna be talking about relationships, sex possibly, just topics that people are talking about. We're gonna be talking about tonight. We're gonna be talking about tonight, Married at First Sight. I don't know if you all watch that, but we watch it. We want to talk about that. And also Love is Blind, that's on Netflix. So I don't know if you all watch that,
Good.
but we watched it and we want to talk about it and some of these people and their narcissistic and gaslighting behaviors, their
Uh-oh.
toxic behavior. It's just been a mess, honey. So we just want to talk about some of those things and, just be back in the forefront again and talk about some, just different topics. And if you all chime in the chat, say hello to us.
Yeah.
Um, tell us what you want to talk about. Just give us your feedback and your comments. We would appreciate that. So, but I know, go ahead, Elena, say something before we get started.
I'm ready to jump in, man. Y'all know who I am. It's Lady Michelle. It's on the screen.
It's on the screen.
I'm just ready to talk about these shows, man. 'Cause this is
Yes, yes, yes. But before we get started talking about the shows, I want to talk about what are some non-negotiables for your life? Like, what are some things that are just like non-negotiable? Like, look, I don't, this is a non-negotiable for me in my life. And I don't know, did you see the post that I sent you?
I was doing a client, so I briefly
Okay.
looked at it, so I didn't.
Well, I can just talk about myself, and they're not really not non-negotiables in a relationship, but just in life, period. That I will no longer do things that don't bring me joy and peace.
Right,
I be more willing to let go of toxic relationships instead of worrying about, oh, I won't have that friend, but be more willing to be like, that's a non-negotiable. If you're toxic and you're just bringing trash and dumping on me all the time, and you're not pouring back into me like I'm pouring into you,
right.
then that's a non-negotiable for me, as far as just dwelling and being a part of these toxic relationships that are not I'm not saying that, oh, everybody has to be extra positive, but let's uplift one another. Not every time we have a conversation, you're just being so negative and gossipy. And in 2022, I want to do what makes me happy, what brings me joy, and that includes my career as well. So I believe I will be making some career changes soon, and just believe in God for some open doors and opportunities, but not doing things that don't bring me joy. So that's one of my non-negotiables.
Yeah, I think this year is just really finding or accepting people for who they are and not trying to force relationships that people don't want with me. Um, so my
That's good.
non-negotiables are just being the giver and having takers around me.
That's good.
Being around people who, refuse to like accept my phone calls or text me back and stuff like that. Just people, like you said, people who have that negative energy around them. I just have no space for them this year.
Right. No desire to have them in your life, no desire to be a part of their lives
Right,
either. I love what you said about, people who um, don't want to have a relationship with you, forcing that relationship. And I agree with that as well. I feel like if God, once he closes that door, I'm gonna let it stay closed. Because sometimes I'll go back and be like, trying to figure it out. Was it me, Lord? Did I do something that, did you really close that door, and try to go back and salvage it? And it's even worse the second time. So
right,
God was like, I closed that door, girl. Let it be. And let that be what it was. And so I agree with that. That's awesome.
yeah, and not allowing that old energy back into your space. 'Cause you know where
Exactly.
it's gonna lead to
More toxic energy and more
frustration,
toxicity. What'd you say?
frustration.
Exactly. Frustration and anger and bitterness. So, but anyway, girl, we're going to talk about a little bitterness and frustration and anger on these relationships on Married at First Sight, honey, because these people are interesting, right? I mean, I'm just like, what's happening with the people? Like, why y'all cutting up like this? Why y'all acting like this? So,
They don't know.
um, what'd you say?
I said they don't know how to act.
Girl, don't know how to act. So we have five couples that came together, married at first sight. If you all don't know the premise of the show, they never met each other, but they go on a show looking for love and marriage. They want to be married, period. And so they go on this show, sight unseen, get married. And some relationships work, some
And
don't.
most
And
don't.
right. Lately, a lot of them have not. And I don't know if it's just the people wanting fame, or they're wanting to just be seen or get some popularity because, we're in the social media world. I'm just confused because I'm like, why do people cutting up? So,
Yeah, people was on the experts last year, like, what y'all did wrong? Y'all didn't keep these people together right. Y'all just was rushing it because of COVID and all. It was on. So I feel like this season the experts really took their time to match people, um,
mhm.
except for one couple because I don't even think one girl should have been on a short at all. But we're gonna talk about that.
I mean, I think sometimes a lot of these people get past that process because they say what they think the experts want to hear. And unfortunately, the experts are believing these people are genuine, have genuine hearts, genuinely want to be married.
Yeah.
And sometimes they just have these unrealistic expectations or don't give the situation a chance. What do you think about that as far as with Chris and Alyssa? That was the couple that was put together and they didn't stay married
Yes.
because she,
Let's talk about them first.
yes, let's talk about them because, she kept saying, um, I was robbed of the experience. I was robbed. I didn't get what I wanted. What do
Every
you think
time I
about
see
that?
her, I just think of victim mentality. It's
Hmm.
always somebody did something to her. She was
Yeah,
robbed. He's being mean, or he's being like not a good person, but she's a great person. I'm like, if you have to tell yourself you're a good person that many times, are
girl.
you really a good person? Most people that's good people don't say, I'm a good person. I don't know why they're treating me like this because I'm a good person. Good people get treated like good people.
Right. And you don't have to tell that. You don't have to tell the world you're a good person because the proof is in your actions and your behavior. So you don't have to convince the world that you're a good person, just like she can. I don't want this on TV. I don't want this on TV. What don't you want on
I want
TV?
you to
Your
make
real
me look
self?
like I'm the bad guy. I'm like, nobody's making you look like you're the bad guy. You making you look like you're the bad guy.
You the bad guy
Sitting
because
here contradicting yourself. You're not giving him a straight answer at all. He's literally sitting here, like Chris literally sat there and tried to get her to say something of any kind of importance of why it's not working out for her. And I
sure.
can't do this right now. I gotta go. Like, I can't do this. He's trying to force me into, no, nobody's doing nothing. He's just trying to get answers. He's trying to
Right.
be, and he even told her, you can give me 1%, I'll give you 100, but I need you to know that you're in it.
At least you're giving me at least that little bit of 1%, and I can do the rest. Even from day one, when she said when she didn't even want to sleep in the same honeymoon suite with him, he was like, "Whatever happened, I'm sorry." He apologized from the gate, like, "I apologize. I don't know what happened, what was said about me," and it's just so unfortunate because she lied. She was like, "Well, I tried to talk to him and he just wouldn't talk to me." And they showed like 5 clips where she was like, "I don't want to talk to him. I hate him." And I'm thinking to myself, how are you going to hate somebody you don't even know?
Yeah, and
Like,
didn't even have a chance, didn't even try to know.
she's
Like,
like,
every time
"I hate him."
it was a chance for you to, like, okay, you know what? I didn't give him a fair chance. Let me just see what he's about. Let's have a good adult conversation so I can see what he's about. But as soon as you saw him, you checked out. And when he called you out on
Exactly.
that, then you don't want to be looked as a bad person because you got
Like,
called out on your BS pretty much.
and it's unfortunate because you can tell what she was really about because when they showed her at the end, I guess I moved to Texas because she wants her a cowboy. So you saw how she came with her cowgirl boots on at the wedding, on her dress. And then at the end, after everything is said and done, she sits there and lies and says that it wasn't her decision. And I think that made her feel better because he finally made the decision because she wouldn't.
Right.
And she was
Right.
able to throw that back in his face. I was willing to work it out and see what we can do, but he just wasn't willing at all. I'm thinking to myself, this woman, or do you not know we're going to all see this on national TV? They're
Right.
not going to edit this stuff out. You are a
So
liar,
you know the producers are petty. They're gonna make you look
girl.
worse. Like, even if you were trying, you had some parts that you was trying, they gonna make you look
Girl.
just
They're
the
gonna make you
worst.
look like the villain. You are a psycho, whatever. That was unfortunate. I mean, I felt bad for him.
I do
Um,
too.
because it's not like he was a monster or anything like that. He wasn't that bad looking. You can get your teeth done. Everybody and their mama getting their teeth done these days. So he could have got his teeth together because I did. His little teeth were a little yellow and they were a little crooked. So his teeth could have,
Right.
But overall, that's cosmetic. That's not something that it's like you're going to just dismiss a whole entire person
Right.
because of something that can be fixed cosmetically. I think that's unfair.
It's very unfair. It's
That's
very, very
crazy.
unfair.
And so we have Noe and Steve. Noe and Steve, she seems like she's a lot younger, but Steve, his issue is he doesn't have a job right now.
That's not an issue. It's not that he don't have a job. He's a independent contractor, or he's
Well, he's
a
not, he doesn't
freelance.
have a consistent job right
He's
now.
a
And she has,
freelancer. I know
Mhm.
that, but what she don't
Right.
understand, he's a freelancer. So that
Mm-hmm.
means he can gain work and make a good amount of money just freelancing. What she wants him to do is have a
It's
9 to 5, and that's not
right,
his first. That's not who he is. He's not a
right.
9 to 5 person. He already said that he do graphics, he do photography, he do all this kind of stuff. So to tell him you need to go get a steady job, you're taking him outside of who he is.
Y'all see how Elena got a little
No,
heated when she said, "No, I'm like,
no, because
girl,
I'm not on her side on this. I feel like
oh
she's
no, I'm
being
not
very
either."
childish
Yeah,
about the situation because I don't think I think he's a person that can take a year off to travel, know how to do their finances.
if you're an engineer, first of all, I don't think he would have taken that time off and was be able to afford to travel if he wasn't
Or don't
good with his
understand
money.
money.
Thank
Exactly.
you. And I would hope that the experts would have asked him about his finances and resources, like what are your plans if you're going to be a married man? So I know I'm thinking that the experts probably asked him about his stability.
Yeah,
Go
I think
ahead.
so. I really think so. And I think she just being really, maybe because she, of course, she keeps saying because of her childhood and they're refugees and stuff like that, she don't want to be poor or in the, you know what I mean? But
Hmm.
he don't give me the sense of struggle. Like he looks like a person that he's about his money and he can make it anytime he wants and how much he want to when he want to. So
I
money is
mean,
not a big concern for him because he knows how to
right.
get it. That's how what I get from him. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
she kept saying, I've never been without a job. I've always had a job. Okay, that's great. You always work 9 to 5. You always been an employee. Not everybody are employees. Some people are
exactly.
freelancers. Some people are entrepreneurs. Some people are um, independent contractors.
Right.
There's
And
no
the reason and the reason why I brought that up about you is because that's you are an independent contractor. You are a freelancer because you do photography and stuff like that. So you understand his passion and his desire about his lifestyle and he's able to do what he needs to do to make
yeah,
money. And because she doesn't understand that because she doesn't have that same passion and drive that he has or that attitude about it, you know, it's she just doesn't understand. I think she's being immature about it. Just like he mentioned that before, he was like, you know what, I want to be with someone who believes in me, who believes that I will be able to make the right decisions and that I can do what I need to do. And that was frustrating for him.
yeah. And my thing is the fight.
I was
her
about to bring that up.
her walking out of a pasta and didn't talk to the man for like 36 hours.
And then posted it on social media. That shows her immaturity.
Yeah. Because
Yep.
if he's reaching out to you, he gave you chance after chance to say, look, I need just give me some time. I need some time to think about this and anything like, but you post it on social media. And then when he asked you, was that about me? Yeah, ma'am. No, that don't work.
And like he said, most of my family is following you. Like, do you
Yes.
know what that looks like? Like, we're fresh in this thing and you're being very negative about our marriage. Like, what does that look like? And
Right.
what do you think about them? Do you think they're going to work?
I think so. I just think that she needs to go to individual counseling and get over the her past. I understand you were a refugee, you grew up with no money, you grew up very poor,
Right.
but you need to heal from that because I don't think this man wanted to be married to have his wife and his children struggle. Like I don't think that's his intent at all. And I think that he's very aware that he's going to be the provider for his family. But
I think,
I don't think she sees that because all she sees is that he don't have a 9 to 5 clock in job, no stability. But
right.
as a freelancer, he can easily bring in more money doing freelancing than a 9 to 5 job and
He
have
can,
more time to spend with the children, to spend with her, to do everything that they want to do as a family.
right. And I mean, he could probably do one freelance job and he could make more money than she makes in a whole year. I mean,
True.
it's a possibility. And, he even said, I'm trying to, focus on this relationship right now to get us established, to get us settled and stuff like that. I mean, he's making the effort to say, hey, I'm kind of like on the fence with them. I'm like, you know what, if she doesn't straighten up, because, don't forget she wants this hard three, no
And
wavering
he's
on the
making good
kids.
points. I'm like, if I was like,
Right.
you want the part three, and then my husband saying, you know what, we can do three, but we got to realize once we have one or two, we have to see how it works. We have to
How it's
see,
going.
how it's going. If we have a child with potential medical needs that we need to pay more attention to and more, uh, spend more time, is like the job of three children with this one
Sure.
child. We gotta make an account for all of that instead of
Right.
just jumping and say nope, three. We don't care how many, whatever. I want three. I'm
Girl,
like,
and she
no,
said in front of girl, and then she said in front of her friends, I'm not compromising on that. I'm like thinking to myself, girl, is it I mean, so you're telling me you're gonna give up a marriage because of one child? Because
one
of
child,
one?
one child. And I'm like, I hope when she have her first child, she be like, I don't know, I'm about three.
Right.
Children are not the easy, especially these days. These children are smart. They start walking right out the womb these days. So
Right. And they're a handful. It's a lot to deal with. And then the world we live in with all this that's going on anyway, with wars and rumors of wars and all this stuff, girl, this just toxic environment, with this COVID. Who wants to have a bunch of kids in this environment in the first place? And children are expensive.
they are.
Education is going to be expensive, I believe, coming down the line because with these public schools and with everything that's going on, a lot of teachers are not going back to work. And so,
Right.
what are parents going to do? And, I know a lot of parents homeschool, but like he said, what if she's homeschooling these children? Right? Is she going to want a house full of kids? And maybe she does to homeschool. I mean, I'm on the fence with them. I don't know if they're going to, I don't know.
It really is
She
really up
needs to,
to her maturity, and especially the dog thing is bothering me too. Because
what
she was like,
happened?
"No, he sleeps in the bed. He sleeps next to me in my pillow," and you could see
Girl,
the concern on his face. And he was like, "Okay." He even bought like a pooper scooper so he won't have to, because
to
he said
touch
he
the
gags
poop.
easily. Like the smell of the poop, he tries his best, but it don't work with him. But he's
Right.
trying. He's compromising. So the thing is, will he get so frustrated that he's the only one making these compromises, and she's not willing to compromise at all? This is what my
Exactly.
life is. You better fit into my lifestyle because I'm not willing to fit into yours.
And a successful relationship is about compromise.
Yeah, we
If
all
you're
have
not
this. Yeah, we all
right,
have to adjust for our partners.
right, but some people don't want to, and some people are willing to accept. And I think that's what we're talking about in the beginning about these relationships. It's a give and take relationship. I can't do all the work. Like you said, I'm not going to be doing all the texting and calling and reaching out, and you not responding. Just like him, he's calling her and texting her. She's not responding, but she's on social media.
Yeah, so you have time. So you buy your phone, you have time to say something.
I mean, you can just say, I don't really want to talk right now. Can
Right.
we do this later? So, I mean, we'll see. But if she doesn't straighten up, I don't know.
Yeah, I think she need to have, like, she needs to talk to Dr. Pepper, because Dr. Pepper,
Dr. Pepper ain't no joke. She'd be like,
she
look,
listen to him like straighten up.
right. Even Pastor Cal, he'd be like, look, what's going on? I think he's a little bit more sensitive. But yeah, Dr. Pepper is no joke. So
Yeah, because he's
I'm
a
looking
pastor,
for,
he still have to have that covering over him. Dr. Pepper, like,
he still got to have that compassion.
yeah. Dr. Pepper, like, I don't need compassion. This is no. I
This
can't wait
ain't
to
it.
hear what she gonna say to him, because it's crazy. I don't
It's
understand. I don't
I don't
understand.
know what if you, I mean, you go on a show wanting to get married. You didn't think you was going to have to compromise. You didn't think you was going to have to give up anything. I'm confused. Like you're going on these shows and you act like you could just be your regular old self
Right.
and not have to make any changes. So let's talk about Elijah Wan and
I was
Katina.
just I'm typing in their name now. Spell Elijah one for me. L-O.
Girl, no, it's Elijah Wan, O-L. So you might just want to say O and Katina.
O-L.
Oh,
Okay.
it's Elijah Wan, but I don't know how to spell his name, unfortunately. I didn't write it down. I just know how to say it.
No, because there's a W somewhere in it. I'm gonna just put
Yeah.
N-O.
O and Katina.
I don't know how to spell
Elijah Wan, we sorry.
it.
We
No.
sorry.
It's a
We
new
know
name. It's a new name for
we right. We know you, we know who you are, you the man, but what do you think about this? I'll let you start.
I think they're cute. I think she needs to speak up a little bit more for herself, because she kind of like quiet and trying to. I guess she's trying to take everything in.
Sure.
Now we don't know what they do in their private lives. Their, the conversations they have off camera, because it might look
Right.
different than on camera. She just might be camera shy, but I feel like she don't speak up enough. And he's so outspoken, where it's like, dude, relax.
Right. Calm down, bro. Calm down. Like he's just
Damn.
on 10. He's just on 10 all the
All the
time.
time. All the
But
time.
she is a social media person. So I mean, I think she's just trying to feel him out, and I think she really wants this to work, and
Hmm.
she's really trying to be patient with him and just kind of this is where we see compromise right here.
Yeah.
I think this is where we see a lot of compromise because she kind of like went grocery shopping. She's trying. Don't push me, but I'm gonna take baby steps. And I think
Mhm.
she's just taking baby steps in
Because
everything
I'm
that's going
thinking
on
he
with
has
him.
a lot of requirements for a wife. And she hears him and she is making adjustments. So like, this the wife that he wants. I can make some adjustments. I don't know if she's telling him the kind of husband she expects. You know what I mean? Because
I
she
think
just
she's I think she's just going with the flow, like she's accepting him for who he is and what
but
he.
I think the problem with that is resentment because you're going with the flow. You're not opening your
Yeah,
mouth about the things that you want and things that you need, and it's all about his wants and needs. You're gonna start
hmm,
resenting him, and then be
right.
irritated by him when he asks you to do something because you're not saying what you need.
And she's not, like you said, not going to be satisfied. You're going to be angry.
Hmm.
You're going to start wanting to just not deal with him at all. And so you're going to, like you said, suppressing that anger. She's going to blow up one day.
Yeah,
But hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully she'll speak up for herself. But
I mean, she don't mind speaking up when something going on with
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 Lindsay, honey, her and Lindsay,
she gonna still do
yes.
it with Lindsay.
Look, her
And
and Lindsay.
that's what I'm saying. Maybe, off camera, she do have those conversations with him. But I just haven't seen it on camera. I feel like they always show her, or she's like,
I think she just really wants this to work with him.
yeah,
I think she wants to be married and she really wants to do whatever it takes. But I think when it comes to her relationships, she's going about it wrong. But when it comes to women and when they buck up and act up, she's like, what you want to do? She was like, she told Lindsay, she said, don't talk to me on camera.
we already
Oh,
know. We don't establish this on camera. We don't
right.
talk to each other.
Right. She's like, we're not, I mean, so she knows how to speak up. We know she does, but I think in
Yes.
relationship is I think she's kind of like, I really want this to work. I'm not trying to rock the boat. And so I'm gonna just figure this out. But I can't wait to see, like you said, when Dr. Pepper comes around and they start having these conversations, when Dr. Viviana comes around talking about sex and different things like that, because, they haven't consummated the marriage.
Right.
He's
What do
trying
you
to
say
take
about
us.
that? Because I watched the after
Yeah.
party, and she did say that she also, it wasn't just him holding back. She said the same thing because they're trying to get to know each other on a personal level. When I think that's very mature to him because he is a player. He was a player.
Yeah.
He did just sleep with people and stuff like that. So for him to take his time, you know,
I think that's a good idea. I
he's
mean,
he's making compromises too because
sure.
she did ask him to cut his hair and he was so excited to show her his hair.
Yes. And she was so happy. He looked nice. I was like, okay. I think they're trying to I think they're really trying to please one another.
Yeah,
I think they both really want this to work. I'm hopeful for this couple. I really want to see them thrive and succeed. But like you said, I hope that she starts speaking up for herself and saying things like, look, bro, I'm not a cook, but maybe we can hire somebody, or I can take some classes or whatever, or I cook 3 days a week. But this every night cooking is not going to work for me. So maybe if I cook 3 days and order out 2 days, I mean, something, let's try to figure this out
right.
because,
Because she's a
like,
food blogger, so I'm pretty sure she don't want to cook every day. She want to go out and experience and do her social
right,
media, like
like
show
what she was doing
food.
before.
Yeah. And I like how Pastor Kel called him out. Talking about you want a woman in the 50s, you want her to come and cook and have babies and just lay on her back. Like,
Right.
no,
I love that he said that too, because it was like, bro, where are you at right now?
where you at?
Are you in 2022 or what?
But he did say
2000.
that he does cook sometimes. He cooks them breakfast. So I just
Yeah.
think, watch what you say on camera and watch your words and how you say them. Because if you're still willing to cook for her and stuff like that, just say, I expect us sometimes cook together. I really want you to cook for me as my wife, but I will cook for you as your husband. Like that kind
Right.
of stuff instead of saying, you're my wife, so I expect to cook. I just want to see how you look in this habitat. Like when they first got into the kitchen, she was like, this look good. This look like right. I'm like, woman in the kitchen look like, right? So,
That
throw
would
over
be
your
a turn
shoulder and
off
go
for
back
me.
into the cave. Like, what is this? No.
Right. That would be a turn off for me. I
Like,
think
even
if
if I
somebody
love
said that,
to cook, I'm like, I'm not cooking for you just because you expect me to
right.
cook.
That's what
I'm
I'm
not
saying.
gonna do it. I want to
Exactly.
cook for you because I love you and I want to cook for you, not because you require me to cook. No,
Right. Girl,
no.
just because he acted like that, I would never cook. I'd be like, "Oh, really? Oh, okay. That's what you want? Okay."
Mhm.
Right. Girl, I burn up
If you
everything.
get salad and you put your own dressing on it.
Look, I might cut up some onions or some tomatoes and put some croutons on it. You might be look. No, but I think they really wanted to work, but I
I
think,
think so.
his old school caveman mentality, he just needs to kind of, like you said, it's about compromising and making some changes, tweaking some things, and I think once they do that, I think they'll be okay.
Okay. And also, the other thing is, because I mentioned to you yesterday when we was talking, the friend that was so concerned that he never dated a black woman, um, but he's half Irish. So I'm like, you're half white, you're half black. So what if he never dated a black? Because just because she was like, but he looks black, but he looks okay, but he's still not all black. He's still white as well. He's black
Right.
and he's white. He might look black, but he
Right.
has a choice if he wants to date seriously white women. That's beyond him because one of his parents is white. That's
Yeah.
who he is. It don't matter if he
Right.
looks black or not. That's who he is, and he
That's
has
who
a
he is.
right to choose who he wants to be with. But
Right.
Katina cleared it up and said no. He's been with black women. He just never had a serious relationship with black women. This is the first
Hmm.
relationship she had with a black woman. But that
Hmm.
don't mean he's not attracted to black women or been with black women.
Right.
So she
But
had to shut that down real quick with her friend.
I don't know.
Her
I think
friend.
some black people, that is an issue for them. Like, he's never dated a black woman. He's never been with black people, black men, women. But the thing about it is, he did make the comment and said, none of them ever wanted to date him. He said a black woman has never really wanted to be with him, like be in a relationship with him like
And that
that.
could be his truth. That could be his truth. And
That's what he said.
you don't know where he grew up at. You don't know if he was not exposed to that many black women, and if he
Right.
was, maybe he wasn't that. He didn't rub them the right way that he did. They didn't want to date him. Like people
Because
don't,
he
you
was
gotta accept people for their truths instead of
right.
saying, "Oh no, he just want to be." No, because he looks very happy with Katina.
Right. And I'm sure if he only wanted a white woman, he would preface that. I'm sure he
Yeah,
could have.
yeah,
Because there have been some couples on there where, they preface, I'm sure they have. So I'm sure if that was an issue, he would have said, I want to only be with a white woman or whatever. But that's not what he said, I guess. And
no,
maybe he prefaced it and said, I don't mind being with a black woman if you find someone. And he's okay with that. So he seems like he's very happy with Katina.
yes.
They have each
They're
other's
very,
back.
very cute couple. They'll have some really nice looking kids.
Yeah, and I mean, they seem like they down for each other. They got each other's back, and he seems like he kind of calms her down in those moments when when Karen is riling her up. She seems like he's like, yeah, babe, like he whispers over, like, yeah, don't worry about it, like, you
Yeah,
know,
don't worry about
yeah.
it.
And so mentioning Karen, her name is not Karen, her name is Lindsay, but she acts like a Karen. Lindsay and Mark. Um,
But
She is starting to be a mean girl. I mean, she's always been kind of like a mean girl, but to her husband, she's showing that meanness to him right now. And it's kind of awkward. I'm surprised a little bit, but then
yeah,
I'm not, because it's like you've been acting a fool since the show started. Like, you were over the top at the wedding, but I thought she had a look, she's a nurse, so I thought she was a little bit more professional than that, but she's off the chain.
yeah. I mean, she do show some good qualities. Like she's all
Mhm.
in. Like I'm gonna help you out, but
Yeah,
she's a lot, and she like wears a lot as a badge of honor. Like I'm a lot, and you got to get used to me being a lot. But sometimes being a lot is not a good thing. I think
right.
Doctor Pastor Kel said that. They're like you don't.
Right. Tone it down some. Like, that doesn't mean you need to pat yourself on the back.
You need to understand the surrounding that people you
Right.
around, your surroundings, and you need to adjust your behavior.
Right.
Because she has no filter and
None.
feel like she feel entitled that she don't need to have a filter because of who she is. Because she
Exactly.
just like Alyssa, she plays that victim mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying why, but she plays that victim mentality.
She's a white woman and she acts like a Karen. And I mean, this is our channel. We're not being disrespectful or being rude. That's who she is, and she acts like a Karen. She's very entitled. That entitled white people syndrome. We, like I said, we have friends of all different races. So I have, but the bottom line of it is, from our observation, whether Elena wants to admit it or not, she
No,
acts like she has
she acts
white.
like a parent. Yeah.
She has that entitlement, that white privilege. Like, this is who I am.
One
Accept it.
trigger away from 911.
Right, exactly. You catch her at the park barbecuing, baby, and she don't like it, she is going to call the people on you. So be careful. I mean, because she tried, you remember in the airport, she tried to go off on Elijah Wan about
Hmm.
something and he checked her. And I
Hmm.
guess she thought her husband was going to bop up and be like, yeah, whatever, whatever. And he was like, no, calm down. Like he was actually on the side of the people that she's attacking, even
Yeah.
though he kind of had her back, like, let's ride on a different bus. I think in the beginning he was like, okay, but I think he saw that since this is a pattern of hers and she's not going
Yeah.
to change, you know what? I'm sick of this because he's told her in the last episode, if you don't want to, what did he say when they're at the bowling alley? If you don't want to something, this is not going to work. Or if you don't calm down, this is not going to work or something like
Yeah.
that.
Because her friends that gave him the advice that, when she does something to make you uncomfortable, address it, and tell her how it makes you feel. And he did
Right.
that, and it went left,
Babe.
all the way left.
She clowned.
Right, because she wanted him to have her back in her side, but you're wrong. When you're wrong, you're wrong. I have your back, but I'm going to also tell you when you're wrong. And you
Okay.
were wrong in this moment.
But you see how she's so like like you said entitled because you remember when they were on the beach and she was making those little gestures and laughing and giggling. Alyssa was like, Lindsay, what's going on? Why are you laughing? And you see how she turned her face and was like, mm. And you see how she did that exact same thing to Katina.
Hmm.
Like, why do you think it,
She did.
like,
She did say the same thing that, like, why you rolling your eyes? She had, and
why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? And Katina's like, girl, you don't want it. Basically. I was
like,
like,
I'm trying not
Katina,
to
give it
embarrass
to
my
her.
husband. Okay, I'm trying not to embarrass my husband. I'm gonna just.
Right. And Lindsay's husband Mark was like, "Don't embarrass us. Like, calm
Mhm.
down."
But he spoke. He keep telling her this is the stuff that turns me off. This is why I want to slow things down. Because when you do this, I get uncomfortable. I need you not to do this in public. I need you to, correct your behavior. Like that's not cool. And instead of listening and growing and understand that he has her best interest in mind, you're all about your entitlement of you can do whatever you want when you want, how you want to do it.
Right. And then she disrespects him by talking about him in the bathroom with her friend and getting loud, knowing that he could probably
That was
hear.
the girl,
That was what?
the producer.
That was disrespectful. I mean,
It was.
oh, well, you can go back to your, what she said, all she
Your
wanted was,
roach infested apartment. Go back to your mom with your low salary. I think she was like, he makes 60,000 a year with his low salary. I'm like, 60,000 a year is not a bad salary,
no,
especially
it's
if you're
not.
bringing two together in a marriage. Like
Right, exactly.
that's like average in America. That's
That is.
actually is probably a little above average in America.
Well, I guess it's probably not average for her, but she, like you said, that entitlement, that feeling like I'm better than I've been to Mexico 12 times and I've been here before and let me show you. And I was just thinking to myself, so what? Who cares? I mean, we're all going here to have fun. You don't have to brag about how many times you've been and how you've been out the country and you travel all the time. Good. Awesome.
Good job. Obviously, you had a great life, and we're trying to,
Could
okay.
you Did you? I'm gonna go back to North Boston or wherever she said I'm gonna live my life like, oh, I'm going back to the good area, and I'm gonna live my high life. And I'm just like, wow, you're okay. Your true colors are coming out.
Yeah, your ugliness is showing.
Yes, ma'am. It's
Right.
showing. It ain't covered up no more with that blonde hair. You better get it together. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think about them? I don't know if they're gonna
I don't think
last.
they're gonna make it. I don't think they're gonna make it unless Mark speaks up and put her in a place like a real like she needs somebody to be like, look, woman, this
Right,
is how it's gonna be. Sit down.
right.
Like she needs
Dr. Pepper gonna come in there and shake them up a little bit.
slap her around a little bit. It's like just
Right. I don't know, but I don't know if they're gonna make it if she doesn't change her attitude. I
Yeah,
mean, they're not
I
gonna make it.
make
They're
it.
not gonna make it.
And so
And we got one more.
I don't see them making it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate. I don't. I'm sad for it, but I was thinking more couples were gonna make it in this season, but it looks like it might be only one or two.
Yeah,
What do you think about Jasmine and Michael?
look for her name. Just I wasn't typing it yet. I remember Michael.
Michael and Jasmina. Well, I mean, I think they can make it if he gets out of his own way.
Yeah,
I think he just needs to get out of his
he stopped
head.
lying.
That part. That part. Get out of your own way. Stop lying. I don't know what he's trying to cover up. I don't know if he's insecure or scared or whatever, because that blatant lie that he told about those roommates was so uncalled for. You didn't
Because
think
I'm
your
like, I'm watching the show, and she asked
girl,
them. She's like, "Well, I have
a male
a
roommate.
male roommate. Have you ever lived with opposite sex?" He blatantly said, "No, I've
No,
never lived
I've
with a
never.
never lived with a woman." And then
Boop.
3 clips later, you have two female roommates.
Two of them, not one, two.
But he was like, he never lived with a significant other, like a woman he were dating. I'm
Uh,
like,
don't try to be technical. Don't try to play word games with me. Don't do it.
you
That
live
don't-
with a woman.
period.
Period.
Period. I mean, don't try to play word games with me. Really?
That
Really,
was
bro?
the biggest thing. I'm like, red flag. It
Re-
was just unnecessary lying. Just say, like, did you have a relationship with one of these women? Why wouldn't you want to say, you know? And she was kind of irritating
Exactly.
me too, because she was like, I understood she was upset about it, but I'm like, keep bringing it up. Like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, he lied about it, but do it warrant this much upsetness? Because like,
She's a little petty boots.
she a little petty.
Yeah, she's a little petty boots. So,
And her
but I'm
friend called her out on it.
her friend called her out. Her friend was like, yeah, you are. You do act like that.
Like, she was like, "Oh, that sounds like you." She's like,
She didn't say anything.
He has to be right." "Oh, that sounds like you." "I don't have to be right. Most of the time I am right." She was like, "All right, yeah."
Yeah. So I mean, her attitude and his attitude, if they don't if they don't start compromising, again, it's about compromising and be willing to say I'm wrong, be willing to say I messed up, be willing to, I think, let your guard down and be vulnerable a little bit instead of trying to be, oh, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of pride on this season.
Right. And I like the advice that Pastor Kel gave them when it was, in their argument and he having a tone. He told her, "Tell her I'm not your enemy." And then
That
told him
was
that when she says that, you adjust, you correct your behavior.
right.
Because I feel like I guess because I think everybody died in his life. Like I feel like everybody passed away, right?
Yeah, they did. His aunt,
Everybody
his
passed away,
mom
so he's probably
said
on defense mode. He has
he,
walls up because a lot of hurt has been in his life,
yeah,
stuff like that. He probably still have to work on it. I feel like these shows, they need to do like some serious counseling before they start the show. Like go through the
yeah,
process and then have some serious counseling. Make sure that they are 100% ready to have
yeah.
somebody else into their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of them have issues, like
Yeah, real
big
issues.
issues, and
Right.
these are issues they need to adjust on a personal level. Then before they bring into a couple,
That's true. I
yeah,
agree. I mean, I think they need to say, yes, we found you somebody, and then maybe give them 2 weeks of counseling.
yeah,
Like stop the show or whatever, or even film that part of it, showing them, not, and maybe not film it because of confidentiality and different things like that. But,
but require them to go to,
counseling.
if y'all take 3 months of vetting, take another month of, okay, we vetted, these are our 10 people. We're
Yeah.
going to put them through serious counseling to make sure they are ready, to make sure they mental, to let them know what to expect with marriage and what they expect, and really, you know, get them on the right mindset.
And even ask them, are you willing to make compromises? What are you willing to do to make this marriage work? I don't know what kind of questions they're asking the people, but it's like, do people not understand what marriage means?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's about giving of self. You're selfish, you're selfless, right?
Mhm.
You're just giving, giving, giving of yourself, considering the other person before you consider yourself. So Are you doing that by some of the things that you're saying and doing? With this dog sleeping on your pillow, you have a full husband.
Right.
He's trying to kiss you and hug on you, and
And
you
the
got a
dog on
dog.
you.
Girl, the dog looking at you in the face like, "What you
I want
doing?"
to kiss too.
And he ain't kissing no dog because he don't seem like he like animals like that, but
No.
he's willing to compromise.
Yes.
Picking up dog poop, got the dog, and he's like, "Can we put the dog on the side of the bed? Like, is there somewhere we can put the
She's like,
dog on
no,
this?"
no. He sleeps in
He
bed.
needs to be on the pillow, on the bed,
Right.
licking me in my face.
Right in between us.
That's why I have acne, because my dog licks me on the face all the time.
You don't know why. You petty.
I'm just being extra right now, but she being extra. Cut it out. Get the dog off the pillow.
Get the dog off the pillow.
Get the dog off the pillow, okay? Cut it out.
Right.
Um,
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make
doesn't make
sense.
sense. Oh my gosh. But
I don't know. Out of all of the couples, I think the only two people that might make it is Katina and O.
I'm thinking Nate's the only one too. Oh my gosh.
Jasmine and Michael, I feel like they on a better leaf after the conversation with Pastor Kel, but I think that's because it hasn't been enough days for something else to bubble up.
But I think he needs to get some help with his anger, because he keep popping off. She gonna go off on him, and it may not be. It
Like
may
I
be
said,
a
that
point of.
might stem from all the people that he lost, and it's just
That's understandable, but
it's a
get
shield.
help,
Like, I'm going
a
to
defense mechanism.
I'm defend myself before you can hurt me because I've been hurt several times. So I lost so many
Sure.
people, so I'm gonna defend myself first. But yeah, dude, like no. No.
Oh baby, oh poor baby, get some help. Get
Just
some
stop
help,
lying.
Michael.
Stop lying. Okay?
You see, you
That
acting. You got that defense mechanism up, but then you a liar. Which one you
Mhm.
going? Which one you gonna do?
Did you watch the after party with Keisha? And she was like, "No, sir."
Right,
She,
right. She's like, oh, you go. Oh,
oh,
you
you
think we
know we don't
crazy?
talk about it.
Right. She confronted him, and they should have. They should have. I love Keisha because she does not play with them.
No, she doesn't.
I'm not gonna let you get away with this pettiness and this foolishness. Cut it out. Just like how she confronted. Did you see the episode when the first episode they had the first after party when she confronted Alyssa and she walked off? I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do
I
this.
guess that's what she does. She don't like to talk
Yeah.
about herself and her
Right. Well,
shortcomings, so she just walks off.
yeah. Don't confront her, honey. Don't confront her. Don't
She's a good person, and you're not gonna make me look
oh
like a
my gosh.
bad person.
Not on camera. Not on camera. Oh,
And she does this.
not on camera. Girl, that fake them fake tears, girl.
Because I really
Girl.
tried, and I don't understand why.
I'm a good
I'm
person.
a good person,
Girl.
and he's just not trying. And I tried my best, but I don't know
Girl.
why he wanted to get divorced. It was not my decision.
Oh my gosh. Like if you don't go sit down. I hate him. I hate him. And girl, the episode where the producers was talking to her in the background and said, you have a decision to make. We're about to go home.
You know,
This
but the gay guy.
Yes, this is married at first sight.
What you
Not
gonna do? It's not.
not single at first sight. This is married at first sight. I'm like, oh, you better tell her. You better tell her. Somebody better put her in her place because she cut up.
And they asked her. They asked the other girls. Keisha asked not girls, other people. Do y'all think if she sees us back, she's gonna adjust? It was like,
No,
no.
no, she's not gonna adjust.
Like they put all the bad moments in. That's not who I am. They made me look like the villain.
Girl, if that is not who you are, who are you? Because you sure didn't let us see who you are. Because you're mean and rude. Period. You're mean. I mean, you didn't have to treat that man like that. If you didn't like him on day one, and just be like, you know what? I'm not attracted to you. Be 100. Be a woman up.
Like,
If you really didn't like him like that, instead of taking him through the ringer because you wanted to, you wanted your 15 minutes of fame, like his mom said.
mm-hmm. He
She
said
did, right, and then no, you wanted to go to where did they go? To Cancun or
yeah, Mexico.
they went to out of town, like you said. You'd rather be in 80-degree weather than 60-degree weather in Boston. So of course you're going to take advantage of this time.
Right. I
But
think
you,
was homeless because she was like, "Well, you can have the apartment for 4 weeks, and then I can have the apartment for 4 weeks." He was like, "No."
That's what I was thinking. I was like, does
But
she have somewhere
divorce
to go?
you, so we both won't get the apartment.
And guess what? He went right. But see, they didn't show her going back anywhere, did they? They showed him going back to his house.
Yeah.
And did they show her going back to her apartment, or she could have been homeless? People sit there and use it. Could you remember that? I don't know if you ever
I
watched
lived
that
out of
one
car in New Orleans. The one that lived out of her car.
girl. And then the one before that, the basketball player from overseas, he didn't have nowhere to go either. I was like,
Oh,
why do people come on here and don't have nowhere to live? Like, y'all
I'm
cancel
like,
y'all
y'all need to
lease?
get better at that. Like, if they don't have the living situation together, they don't need to be on no show. Okay.
Tell them, do not break your lease. Do not break your lease until you come back from out of town.
Right.
Because just in case it don't work out, you got a roof over your head.
Right. Oh my goodness. So
Opportunist.
let's go over Love is Blind.
Blind.
We had
So,
jumped back a lot with them. Oh, married at first
girl.
sight. Oh,
Well, Love is Blind is just as bad.
yeah.
Girl. So let's talk about Nick and Danielle. Which one do you want to talk about them first, or
That's fine. Let me go
so
to
Nick and Danielle, they actually said I do because on Love is Blind, you meet again sight unseen, but you actually get to talk to that person and start getting attracted to their personality. So the people on Love is Blind actually get to choose their mate and not the experts. So they choose their mate based off getting to know their personality and connecting with them on a more down to earth level, I guess you can say, a more personal level, even though you don't see that person. So you're starting to be like, okay, I'm vibing with this person. I like their personality. We click. We have a lot in common. So you know the person a little bit better.
right.
So Nick and Danielle, they both
I
said
could
I do.
tell they was probably gonna make it.
Mhm.
Because he usually the on this show the people who propose the first usually
Yeah,
make
yeah.
like Lauren and Cameron.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
yes, they so cute. Um, and the fact that she told him her all her insecurities, all her flaws, and he was like,
Mhm.
I don't care about that. Like, something about you that I'm feeling you, and I want to
Mhm.
be with you. And no matter how crazy she was acting, because she was acting crazy, she had some moments. I'm like, Danielle,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
man loves you in spite of your flaws. Stop showing all of them. Like, she's pushing him. Like,
She's
she
pushing him away further and further. I was like, girl, what are you doing?
you going cray cray. And he was like, you know what? At one point, she was just like, I know, you might find somebody else that was at dinner or something, and she was just going off about her insecurities and stuff. And he just got up and hugged her and was like, it's gonna be like, I'm like,
Like
girl,
trying to soothe her, girl. You better know a good thing when you look that found you.
right.
I mean, so I don't know. I think she just was, so insecure, talking about her
Except that she lost
body
like
and
80 pounds or something. So she was a fat girl and turned skinny. So she, I guess, because people still see themselves at the weight that they were.
yeah,
And that insecurity is real. Like, it's a real thing.
yeah.
Who never been plus size and went back down, they won't understand that. But that's a real insecurity. Like, you know what?
Hmm.
As soon as you see somebody that she's gonna look better than me, but he loves you. And she looked fine. She just had no butt. She was just straight bored.
Girl, flat as a pancake. I mean, but he liked it.
She
Hey,
lost all that fat, baby.
baby, all of it. I was like, okay, then. All right, no booty. All right, yes. Girl, but yeah, so she was. I mean, but I thought she was beautiful. I
She
mean,
is beautiful.
I
Every
mean,
time
like,
he looked, she was like, that's why he was mesmerized. Them blue eyes. She was like,
yeah,
and he was like, oh,
hi, hi, like a Barbie or whatever, and
he
like you
did.
said,
She
I just
pretty woman.
very beautiful. She just didn't realize how beautiful she
Yeah.
really was,
And I
and
think he's gonna be the person that pulls it out, and all those little insecurities that she have. He gonna address them one by one. She gonna be fine.
yeah, I mean, and that's so awesome that sometimes women and if a man has a capability of and he wants to do it, sometimes men can be used in that capacity to help a woman come out of that broken place, to
Yeah,
lift her out of that broken place. If he has the strength and the willpower to do it and the patience to do it, I think in
and I think
marriage
he
is a
does. I really think he
yeah, I
does
think he
because
does too.
because he chose. He was like, I see her. I see she's broken. She needs me. I need her. I'm gonna help
Yeah.
her with this. Like he
I
knew.
want to help her.
Yeah,
I
it
want
was.
her to be her best self. I want her to
I
be
was just
better.
I was just praying that she said yes because he was all in. You could tell he was all in from day one.
Girl, did you see him sweating at that altar though?
He
I said,
was
baby.
sweating. He was.
I mean, he started sweating through that suit. I was like, oh no, he's really sweating. I thought it was just a little baby. That sweat was dripping. I was like, oh no.
He's really nervous. Wait, she said yes first, right? Or did he say
No,
yes?
he said yeah. No, he's no, she said yes first. Yeah, she said yes
Yes. So they
first.
waited till the next
And
week.
and the next week he was dripping sweat and prolonging. I was like, is he gonna say no? Like, what's wrong? Like, so yeah, that was very interesting. So, what about Natalie and Shane? I mean, Natalie and Shane was another couple. He was really adamant with her as far as, you know what, he was like, look, I want you, even though he had another woman
He
after
is
him.
so he gives off frat boy to me.
Yeah.
He don't
But
give off.
he seemed like he wanted to be married though. Like he really
He
was
did.
like,
He really did. I bet you Shayna was watching like, I knew it. She gonna find him.
I don't think he really wants her though. I
No,
don't think he
no.
wants
I think
her.
he made it very clear,
I
especially when
think
he like, oh, you said this to her? You said you had somebody if it don't work out? What you mean?
right.
Like he
Exactly.
put her in her place.
I think he'll have sex with her though.
Probably.
I think but as far as being with her, she
The
messed
kind of
up.
woman she is, that's pretty much all she good for anyway, because I don't think she's gonna be good in a relationship because she's so petty.
Mm-mm. Girl, she's tacky. She a hot mess. Like, who does what you do? I know you think you're a little entitled as well. I think
Mhm.
she felt like she was entitled as well, and she felt like I can get what I want to get. I'm a lie, and I'm a cheat, and I'm a connive, and I'm gonna stay on the show, even though I don't want this young man. Girl, you see when they met up, her and the guy that proposed to her, when they met up, her Shayna and the young man, girl, she didn't even like. She kind of pulled back, like, like, ugh,
Mhm.
hey, like I was like, well, I mean, the body language told it all. Like you can
Yeah.
tell she wasn't feeling him. She was
She
taking
shouldn't have
shots at.
said the only reason she said yes was so she can go on that trip to see Shane. That's the
That's it.
only
That's
reason.
it,
Only reason she
girl.
said yes.
The only reason she said yes, girl, you saw
I
she
know
was
he was like,
drinking.
give my mama ring back.
You can have this little ugly ring here. She didn't like that ring. I'm wearing it on my thumb.
He like nothing
Girl,
about him.
nothing. Girl, nothing about this man. He
And
looked like,
uh, uh,
girl,
him being an atheist was like the nail in the coffin.
yeah. I don't think
It
she was
should have been.
attracted.
She should have said yes because of that, but I'm telling you, she just wanted to be on the show.
I think she just wants to stay on the show. I think she just felt like this was her way to get past that whatever situation. So
Hmm.
let me get past this and say yes to him. I don't want him, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. Yeah, that's a hot mess. So
But Natalie and Shane, like they did vibe because they both have that like childish tendencies about each
mhm.
other. I mean, together. And they seem
Right.
like they were really good friends. But whatever he told her that fight the day before, she could not get over that.
Yeah.
She could not
It
get over
really cut her to the core,
it
whatever he said.
before, and she said, you know, her walking away. She said she felt a weight lift off of her, and that's how she
Wow.
made the right decision. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, and even I think he was looking for too much validation that she wasn't really ready to
He was
give.
a little entitled to. You can tell
Yeah.
he's the person that got everything he wanted in life. Nobody ever said no to him.
Yeah.
He just had that kind of
Shane, you're pretty, you're handsome, you this, you that, you're this, you're perfect.
confidence. Yeah.
And she wasn't down for that. Like, I'm not gonna stroke your ego. Like,
All day.
no, right? I'm not doing that. So miss me with that. And she was transparent with him about it, and she wasn't playing with him, and he didn't like that part. I think she was a little bit more sincere in the pod, though. I think she kind of like bucked up a little bit when they got together, but she
Hmm.
seemed a little bit more gentle and sincere in the pod. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seemed like she changed a little bit, so that was interesting to see
Kind
that
of
flip.
matching his energy a little bit, but yeah, I'm glad she realized that that's not the life that she needed. or wanted.
Mhm. Yeah.
And she stood up for herself. Like, and she said, I love how my dad treats me. He handled me with care.
Yeah.
What I want in my marriage. That's what I want in a relationship. I want somebody who's gonna be there for me 100% and be
Right.
gentle with me and not just say mean things to me because you feel like you can say mean things to me. She was like,
Right.
I'm like,
No.
go girl. You take a stand for what you want.
Yeah.
You don't want.
Again, we need to know what our love languages are, what we're going, our non-negotiables. What am I willing to tolerate in this relationship? If you can't make me feel like a woman, like I'm wanted, and speaking of being wanted,
And taking care of.
Abhishek and Deepta,
You know,
or
move on.
Deepti. I mean, if you want to keep talking about, did you have
I
something
don't
else
know.
you wanted to add?
I'm happy with her decision. I think
I am
Shane has
too.
a lot of growing up to do. Um, but yeah. I'm gonna just put
Yeah,
Shake and Deeps because I do not know how to spell their name.
I know it was Deepti. I think it's
No, it's
Deep.
Deepsy, but I'm just put Deeps
Yes,
and Shake.
and Shake. Yeah, Abhishek and Deepti. I love the way she stood up for herself as well because this man, every time he got an opportunity to speak about her, he made sure he mentioned that he was not sexually attracted to her. He mentioned it to everybody when they were on the honeymoon, the semi honeymoon they went on. He mentioned it around his friends. He mentioned it. I think he even mentioned it to his parents, didn't he? Even to his family, or
Mm-hmm.
so he mentioned it every time he got a chance. And she felt he wasn't connected, and he even mentioned it to her,
Yeah,
and she was like, "No,
and
I
I
deserve
like
better."
crying, like I really this connection is so deep. I like really love her and all this kind of stuff, and just crying and all this kind of stuff. Like if you that in love with somebody, at this point the physical don't matter. Like you can still be with somebody. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It
Right,
transcends that. But you didn't want to. You wanted, a blonde hair white girl. Just say that.
right. Like he said, this was his first time really accepting his Indian culture. And it's like, you look really Indian. You don't look nothing near nothing but Indian, but you're just now accepting your Indian culture. Maybe you need to go back to the white girls with that you can put on your shoulders. Because that was his thing too. He wanted, oh, can I put you on my shoulders? Because you remember he asked her in the pods, like,
That should have been a red
will I
flag.
be,
Talking
will,
about will I be able to pick you up or put you on my shoulders? Like just trying to see if she was fat or not.
basically. And that was kind of arrogant as well. It was like, how dare you? Who are you? Like, but that was interesting. So, I mean, all these toxic relationships and all this toxicity with these people that have their own hurts and their own past traumas that they are not healed from. And they go on these shows and they want to be married and they're bringing all this bitterness and it's spewing out on TV. Like, I think it's kind of teaching us as women and men what to look for, the warning signs, and what we need to do ourselves before we put ourselves in a relationship.
Right. See what our red flags are and address those. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people have been telling me this about myself. Maybe I need to relook at that and
Right,
and grow and see where it comes from that. You know what I mean? To make
right.
me a better person. But I love how she stood up for herself and she's like, no,
I'm choosing me.
I'm choosing me. And I was like, you go, you choose you.
Girl, when she said that, I was like, yes.
Choose you. Choose you.
Yes, yes. And I was loving that because Natalie did the same thing. She did the same thing. And it's like I was loving to see the vibe from these women. And even with I don't want to jump into it unless you still have something to say about this couple, but this couple was just it was just very interesting to see, how, just these people with these issues that they have, because he even mentioned how he was had issues with weight himself, so maybe he was deflecting those issues onto the women that he dated because he had issues with weight in the
Right.
past. So we need some healing, you guys. When we go into these relationships, we can't bleed on other people. We need to be whole, we need to be ready. And even, if we're still a little broken, like Danielle, it's rare to find a man out there who's willing to just really help you through your pain,
Yeah.
and it's
And
rare.
if you're still broken and you're in a relationship, because no, most people don't be 100% by the time they get into a relationship.
Of
But you
course,
still have
yeah.
to, first of all, don't lose sight of who you are and
Sure.
still work on yourself. Like it's
Right.
okay to work on yourself even when you're in a relationship
Right.
because it grows you and hopefully your partner is working on themselves and they're in some kind of growth too.
Right.
But don't lose who you are, you know,
Right.
for the relationship and make sure that you're working on you, making sure that, you know, if you see like you getting upset because he did something that a past relationship did and that's upsetting you, then you need to address that and see why that certain behavior is, you know,
It's
annoying you
still a
or
trigger.
is still a trigger for you. And then you need to figure that out and take care of that because that new person is not doing it on purpose. They just don't know that that's your trigger.
Right. Right. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? They don't know that past about you. They don't know that, but if we can talk to one another and communicate and say, that's a trigger for me. You know what? I would appreciate if, you know, you don't say that or you don't do that because that's a trigger for me. I know you don't know me, but that is a issue for me. So,
I'm
and I,
working on it, but I
yeah,
rather not you not bring that up or say those things because
yeah,
it's gonna trigger me, and you're not gonna like the person I am when I get triggered.
you don't want to see this side of me. Look, you don't want this. I mean, but that encouraged me too to even want to go to continue going to counseling, right? Because it's like, wow, this really wants encouraged me to want to continue to work on myself
Hmm.
during this time of me being in my season of singleness to continue to work on myself. So when I am found by my Boaz or my husband, whoever he is, my Jeremiah, whoever he is, whatever your name is, boo, that I'm in the process of working on myself and healing and having the tools that I need to when those triggers come up. How can I work on that? Or do I need to walk away for a minute? Do I need to count backwards from 10? What are what's in my toolbox, when those
Right.
things come up? Because it's not like they're going to go away,
Yeah.
but how you respond to those triggers makes all the difference because they may not ever go away totally, but
Right.
how do I handle it next time? You'll have the healthy tools to be able to handle it next time. So I think we all need to take some lessons from these episodes and seeing these couples. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
we need to continue to work on ourselves and be better people for that person. Why not bring our best selves to the relationship, right?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So let's go on to Sal and Melanie. I hope I spelled her name right. Probably not.
It's Mallory, but
That's how much I was paying attention to her.
Sal and Mallory, Salvador and Mallory. I was shocked. I was shocked about the response. I just knew he seemed like he was so head over heels for her, but
Yeah.
I do understand. But I was shocked. So
Because this man was singing to her. I felt like she was annoyed every time she sang. You said you didn't see that,
I
but I was
didn't.
like, she don't even look like she's like
She was like, oh
singing again. Oh,
no.
embarrassing.
I didn't notice that. I thought she was enjoying it. Like, oh my
She's
gosh, she's
like
singing again. You
again
a
singing
mess.
again. Oh,
You a
it's gonna
mess.
be my life mariachi band. Cool.
I know. Are you gonna sing every time? When I go to the
And he
bathroom,
was
are
so
you gonna
changed.
sing?
I got her mariachi band for the wedding, and
Girl,
she's
he
like,
was.
oh,
If you bring this up one more time,
if you sing one more time.
look, you
It
do
was
this
like
one more
three
time.
times. He was like 3 or 4 times he sung to her.
Girl, he wrote her a song. Okay, when she walked up with the basket, he was singing. I was like,
And she was
okay,
like, she should sit there awkwardly, like, oh, we doing this?
you funny.
Can I put this basket down or just
Like, do I want this?
it's like, oh, that's so
And then when
sweet.
he was in his apartment, him and his roommate started singing and playing. I was like, okay, they double teaming her. Okay, yeah, yeah, do it, do it, do it,
Serenade, serenade. She was like,
girl.
retreat, retreat.
Girl, I mean, I didn't see it, but I thought it was to me. I thought it was too much. Every now and then, sing to me. Fine, you sung to me on the honeymoon, and now you doing it. Give me a. I like it, but come on.
It's been 4 weeks and you sung to me 4 times. Like, turn it out.
Like, give me a break. Give me
Like,
a break.
you have a
Yeah,
nice voice. Thank you. I appreciate it in a pod because he sung to her in a pod. She was like, okay, cool, that's sweet.
girl,
Then
I
he sung
forgot
to it
about
again
that
on
one.
the
Okay.
honeymoon. Then he sung to
Yep. Girl, yeah, he did a lot. Yeah, he did. I forgot about the pod moment, but yeah.
He did sing to it in the pod. It was silly.
But he seems so sweet though.
Yeah,
He seemed
but
like a really nice guy.
he was smart. He was like, he do love her, but she's not ready,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he don't want somebody that's not ready. So he walked
Right.
away, and that it was shocking to me because I just knew he was gonna say yes and she was gonna say
Yeah,
no.
I did too. Yep, I
But
thought
when he
that too.
said no, I was like, yes, Sam. I was, it was opposite of the
Yeah,
girl.
right.
Yes, think
Yeah.
about yourself, Sal, because she is not the one.
She distracted Sal.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was distracted. She was probably like,
Yeah.
what Jared doing? Did I choose the wrong person?
Yep. Guess what?
Happy.
He
He
better
happy.
be. He better
Yes.
be.
I know you're not convinced still.
He better be.
But that's
I guess what? The reunion is in a couple of days.
I can't wait.
We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. Cause I'm like,
But
oh,
yeah, I'm happy that they didn't, because I don't think she was ready. I think
yeah,
she was, like I said, she just seemed not into it.
yeah,
She was a
yeah.
pretty girl. She could smile through it, but I
Hmm.
didn't seem like
Hmm.
she was interested. Her
Her
mind
aunt,
was somewhere else.
her aunt wasn't convinced.
Mm-mm.
Her aunt wasn't convinced at all. Her aunt didn't seem happy at all. His family was very supportive. I loved the way the family dynamic that he had. They were very supportive. I love that. And then I love the way he addressed her family, like out of respect. I just want to let you all know, blah, blah, blah. Such a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? I love his demeanor and just how he approached things. A very respectful young man, but he knows what he wants. And just like Deepti and Natalie, I'm going to choose me.
Yeah, and
And
that's
I
okay. And sometimes you gotta realize when your relationship, it's okay to say, you know what, I'm gonna choose me. This is not
choose
working.
me.
This is not the environment I want to be in. I'm gonna choose me and my peace and my sanity, and I'm gonna choose to walk away. And it's okay. And if that relationship is meant to be, it'll come back together after you both grow and all this kind of stuff. But it's okay to choose yourself and walk away.
It is so okay. I mean, I think we need to normalize being okay with rejecting a situation that everybody else thinks we need to be in for our own peace and happiness. It's not selfish. I think it's taking care of yourself.
Right.
Because just imagine going into a toxic marriage or an unhealthy marriage, biting your tongue, like we talked about with Katina earlier, and not speaking up for yourself and being miserable later on down the line or resentful or bitter. You don't want to, be that way. I think this generation, especially your generation and going forward, a lot of times, you all are willing to speak up for everything. Like you don't hold back. My children, look, they say what they got to say. And it's
Uh-uh,
like,
red flag, get out my face.
mm-mm. I mean, yes, we still got a lot of work to do in relationships. I mean, I'm not saying that women are just willing to not want to be in a relationship, but we're more willing to say, I don't want to be married, or I'm not going to have children right now, or maybe I don't want to have children, and that's okay. And I don't have to go with the status quo of what my grandma said.
Right.
This is what I want to do for me, and this is what's going to make me happy.
Right. Exactly. Let's go to that last couple of Love is Blind. And that's Jared and Iana. That's what they named her.
Yay.
Kind of
I,
sort of.
I think so. Yeah, Jared. I think that's how you spell Jared. But yeah, Jared and Ayana. So the last couple to get married.
Yes.
Such a cute
Yes,
couple.
yes, they are. I know you're not convinced. I think he chose right. I think that Melanie
Mallory.
Mallory, I still didn't get this girl name right. Uh should have rejected him. I think it was meant
Yeah.
to, so them two could, live a happy life. I'm glad that she got over the fact that she felt like the second
Hmm.
choice.
Yeah.
Glad that he made her feel like, no, you're not my second choice. You're my choice. Like
Right.
you're the one that I'm supposed to be with. And I feel like he made her feel that way over the
Right.
4 weeks. Because
Right.
I don't think she would have said yes if he didn't
Right.
show her that you're my pick. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right. I think actions speak louder than words. I think he had to really show her, like, look, I really love you. I want to be with you. And I think some of the gestures that he made over time, being willing to with the going out and the clubbing and different things like that. I think that those small changes, even though she did say at the end that she didn't really see a lot of change, but I think overall she made him want to say yes. Like she wants to be loved, she wants to be in a relationship, she wants to be married. He wanted to be married. I think um, her dad didn't seem convinced either. To me, his face was looking like mm-mm. But I think,
That's all you was looking at was his face.
girl, we ain't gonna go there. But anyway, won't he do it? But anyway, we're not gonna go there. Okay, we ain't gonna do it. No, but no, I think that I mean just the small gestures that he made, just letting her know that he loves her and she's beautiful and complimenting her, making her
Mhm.
feel good about herself, and just the gift that he gave her, those Air Max that he gave her, the white ones at
Yeah.
the just little things like that, little gesture showing, I hear you, I see you, I acknowledge you, you are my choice.
Yeah.
Just little things like that do make a difference. So
Yeah. And they seem so happy. They do vibe well together.
yeah.
And she just as goofy and as silly as he is.
Uh-huh. I mean, because even in the pod, the things that he shared with her, being very transparent with her about some
Mhm.
of the things that happened to him getting stabbed by a friend. I mean, he didn't share that with Mallory.
Right.
He shared a lot of intimate things with her about his childhood and different things like that. So I thought that was
Yeah.
I thought
And
that
again,
made a
the fact
difference.
that he told her about Mallory shows that he's being genuine. He's not trying to hide anything from her. Like he's
Yeah,
open book. I'm going to let you know what's going on, and that's to me that will make any woman feel secure. Like he's going to let me know. I don't have to find out through the grapevine. He's going to
right,
be upfront with me and do can I
sure,
deal with what is upfront, what he's being upfront about.
right,
You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah, because
Because a
it's
lot of
like
men is not going to be at that upfront. They're not
exactly.
going to be now when she watched it back and how he was crying over it. That might change.
Oh no. I don't think she gonna
I
like
just
that.
definitely propose is not to watch the shows. Don't watch it.
Oh my
You
God.
lived it. You don't have to
Don't
go back and
watch it.
don't.
Yes.
Especially if you're in
Don't
a good place in a good relationship, don't go back and watch the show. Don't do it.
I agree because oof. I think if I watched that, I think I'd be mad for a good week and then we'll have to come back and talk because that was rough to me because he boo-hooed. I mean, he went and got the big towel. He went and got the big towel, girl,
You got a funky towel. He
and covered
boo.
his face, like, baby. I was like, he is upset. Like tears was, I mean, big tears was dropping, girl. I was like, oh, the crocodile tears are dropping. I was like, whoa, them eyes was red. I was like, and then he cried in the living room in front of everybody else. He didn't try to go off to the side like she
No,
did.
no.
He got the big
He was
towel and came
y'all
back
gonna
to the
see
living room.
y'all gonna see my pain.
I was like, oh,
You gonna see
yeah,
this pain.
you gonna see me. You gonna see me.
But that shows you how open of a person he is. He don't mind
Yeah,
showing his
being
feelings. He don't mind
vulnerable.
showing his emotions, and I think that's very healthy for a man because men
Yes,
try to hide their emotions. They try not to talk about their emotions. It's something
right.
to do. So it was kind of refreshing seeing this man being vulnerable. He
Hmm.
don't mind showing who
Sure.
he is. He's very outspoken and he's very honest. He's been very honest with Iana the whole time.
Whole time. Yeah.
Whole time.
And being an African American young man, he's a young man,
Yeah.
just being vulnerable on TV and just like you said, showing that softer side, like, look, that bothered me, that hurt me, that broke me, instead of walking off mad, punching walls and tearing up the place or whatever,
Right.
trying to be tough and hard. No, that really hurt my feelings. That broke me a little bit. So, and really hopefully had him to reevaluate the situation to see that what, maybe that wasn't the right call. Maybe God protected me from a
Emotionless
relationship.
Melanie. Melody.
Right,
Isn't it Mallory? I'm
Mallory.
talking about three different things.
Melody. Yeah,
Mallory. Is it Mallory?
it's Mallory.
Melody, Melanie, Mallory.
So I mean, what is a takeaway that you have from these shows? Like, what is something that you can take away from what we've been
And
watching?
just watching the shows, the takeaway is everybody's looking for that relationship, but you have to be real. You have
Hmm.
to really show who you are, not, show a portion or who you think you should be, really be open and honest and really take it seriously. When you get into a relationship, it's not I must put my best foot, you put your best foot forward,
Sure.
but show them all of you. Give them a fair chance to get to know you so you won't be fake. And it's hard to keep up a fake facade. It's really hard to keep up, you
Right.
know, a fake person because your realness is gonna come up. It's gonna show. So to be real from the jump,
Right.
be honest of what you want in this relationship. Be honest. Hey, is this is going to be a long term? Do I want this to be a long term relationship? Is this going to be a temporary relationship? And be honest and upfront with your partner or the person that you're pursuing or the person that's pursuing you. Be honest.
Right. Right. That's it. I mean, I agree. I mean, my takeaway is just know what you want and what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept. You know what you need as a person. We know what our love languages are. We know how we want people to love us. We know how we want people to treat us, and we should not compromise. My thing about what I took away is not compromising and settling because in Love is Blind, they're choosing themselves. It's like, you know what? I really want to be married. I look good today. This dress is beautiful. I don't want to disappoint these people, but you know what? I will disappoint them for my own happiness and my
Yeah.
own peace and well being. So I think I think so many times in other past generations, they were so quick to worry about it, what everybody thought,
Mm-hmm.
making other people happy. But this generation is like, look, I'm not going to do that to myself. I'm not going to do that to, I know my family is here, but no, I'm going to choose me. And so I think it's just about really knowing what we desire and what we deserve and not compromising.
Yeah. Um, I
Letting
just,
go of toxic relationships, letting go of these toxic relationships, letting go of these unhealthy scenarios. Yeah, I mean, I know everybody probably wanted to really be married. I know they probably did. Like, I really want to be married, but guess what? It's not my time. And Deepti's mom really, I love the way Deepti's mom came up to her and embraced her and was like, this is my girl. This is what she
right.
chose to do. And I have her back instead of being like, oh my gosh, because I remember, I've been told in the past, when I was younger, 21 years old to stay in a toxic relationship. And it wasn't, it was just unfortunate advice. It was unhealthy advice. And I think it was because that person, you know, just didn't know how to treat, didn't know what a healthy relationship looked like or didn't have a healthy relationship themselves.
Right.
And so they, gave me advice like that. And I think that it was unfortunate that that's the kind of advice that I was given at 21 years old to stay in a toxic, unhealthy relationship. Like, stay in that relationship. Oh no, da 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 da. And I'm thinking to myself, really? This is what you want for me? And it was unfortunate. So yeah, I tell my daughter, I give her the best advice that I can because I know what I wanted and what I needed.
Yeah.
So
And sometimes when you get into a relationship, you don't know what you want until you're in that relationship. And if you're being open and honest with your partner, they should be willing to adjust. And just like if they don't know what they want and if they come to you, you should be willing to adjust. It's like we said
mhm,
earlier, it's about compromise. Are you
right,
willing to compromise for the other person, but are they willing to compromise for you too? Because we are still individuals. We all have needs and wants, but we also want to be comfortable in our own homes, in our own relationships, and are both parties willing to see that and accommodate each other? It's about accommodating each other and each other needs. So just if you're in a relationship long term or wanting a relationship, figure out what you need to do first on your end, because it's not going to happen until you really know who you are. And don't lose yourself when you get into a relationship, and be very vocal and honest of what your needs are to that
right.
person. Yeah.
I agree. Do not lose yourself in a relationship. I've been there before. I lost myself in a relationship, and it was to my detriment in the end because then I had to and it was a learning lesson, and then that's something that I can tell other people: don't lose yourself, like you said, in a relationship because if that relationship ends up not lasting, then
Hmm.
it's kind of like, who am I? But then sometimes that journey is a good journey as well because it's like now you can kind of really get to know yourself again, at a different phase of life and just really get to create the life that you really desire for yourself as well. So
Right. Right.
if
And
that
I
does
always
happen.
say too, don't get it wrong. It's not like just because you're adjusting for that person, that don't mean it's gonna always be flowers. There's gonna have hard times. You're gonna have disagreements. There's gonna be rough patches because that's what relationship and marriage is. You're not gonna always like that person, but I heard somebody say, I don't know what it was on. Love is not is that my pastor? Could have been my pastor.
Probably.
Love is not love is not just a feeling, it's a choice. Those feelings go away. You choose to love someone.
Mm-hmm.
And even when it's hard and they're getting on your nerves, you still choose to love them and work on those things. So, but if
Right.
you're in a toxic relationship where you feel like you're being abused mentally, physically, whatever, then that's something different. If it's
Right.
constant bickering and arguing and all this kind of stuff, because yes, you're gonna argue and
Sure.
disagree with that person or relationship because you're two different people. But if it's
Mm-hmm.
just always 10, always, then it's time to get out the toxic relationship.
Or get some counseling, get some therapy. Again, if you all haven't gone through therapy or counseling before, try that first because you just never know. It's just some unresolved issues. But if, like she said, if there's physical abuse, of course, you're not going to be like, oh, I'm just going to tolerate this. But if there's some arguing, it's just like, look, I think we can work through this. Try
Cause
to
some
get some
things you
counseling.
are gonna be petty,
Right.
like the
Uh,
noodle gate.
you didn't cook my noodles. Oh, you let my noodles burn. Oh,
Yeah, you
okay.
let my noodles overcook. Yeah,
My noodles soggy now. Oh, okay. You weren't worried about it. Oh, okay. We're
and then
gonna
she
get a
just
divorce.
no, she was just petty and just I'm gonna get my dog and leave. She just left the stuff
But left for a day. Left for
a
I
day in the
went back. Yeah, and didn't even tell him where she was. Like she could have been hurt. He didn't know that for sure. But see, those are things that you can talk through. Why did you get so offended about that? Like she said, what did she say? She ended up saying, "Well, I don't like." Um, she said, "I don't like confrontation" or something. She said something about why she got upset about that. But it's like, I don't know what she said. But it's like, girl, this is a part of being married, compromising. But I think her whole issue is she needs to learn how to compromise. It's
yeah,
not just about your way or the highway. How can we work on this, right? And that's in any relationship, even with women to women, men to men. I think we need, if there's a disagreement or something like that, let's talk through it. But if we see that we're just not meant to be, then it's easier to let go of a relationship than a marriage for sure. But
yeah.
I think if we're the constant culprit, we might be the one that needs some counseling. If we're always the person that's causing all the drama,
Am I the drama? Yeah, you're the
am I
drama.
the one?
Yeah, you're the drama. If you have to ask yourself that question, then you might be the drama.
I'm a good person. I'm a good person, Elena. It's not me.
It's so funny to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because it's ridiculous. That's all. It's just ridiculous. Well, I
But
hope you all enjoyed this because we did, of course, as you can tell. We enjoyed it. But follow us on Instagram, Unlikely Sisters Podcast, and on YouTube, Unlikely Sisters. And then, we're going live from, this page from social media on YouTube, on Elena Mashon's page and Bougie Girl page. So join us, follow us on our social media. And, if there's some things you all want to talk about, let us know and join the conversation. Share the
yes,
replay, watch the replay, share it, let us know what you think, because we want to continue to grow this community of having honest adult conversations that can be helpful to all of us as we are growing to be better people every day. So,
yeah, yeah.
all
That
right. So we're gonna have a theme song soon, y'all, because we were singing the wrong themes. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but anyway, we are gonna. If y'all want to create a theme song for us, you know, send it to us. But we working on it, y'all. We working on Unlikely Sisters.
ow, ow.
Hey, oh, hey, But anyway, y'all have a blessed week. Have a blessed week. We will be back next Tuesday live. A live upload will be uploaded to Apple Music or uh,
Amazon Music.
Amazon Music, and so we're no longer on Spotify.
Well, we are, but we have to figure out how to get off of it.
Yeah, we don't want to
I
support
can't
Spotify.
start uploading to it.
Well, y'all have a blessed night. We need to go to bed. So,
Yes, and I need to drive home.
yes. All right. Thanks, y'all. We'll see you
Bye.
next week. Bye.